Hey, guys, how are we doing today? Glad you could make it today. I'm just looking over some interesting places. My friend printed out a list of all these cool places I could go visit on a trip that I'm planning to take. Now, you can always do research before you go somewhere, get ideas, plan your trip, even if it's as simple as going to Disneyland. Maybe you want to check to see which rides are going to be the fastest, which rides are down, where to eat. You can plan everything out. You've got tools at your fingertips. You've got books, magazines, the internet, and also friends that can print stuff for you. But we know what we're here for. We're almost to the very end of David Walliams' Ice Monster. Today we are on chapter 77. Let's get started. Chapter 77. Never forget. You don't want a medal? Spluttered the Queen. Everyone likes medals. All I want is for you to help orphans like me, replied Elsie. The Queen thought for a moment. Well, after all that's happened, I can't hardly hurl you back out onto the streets of London, can I? Then a smile spread across the old lady's face. All right, young Elsie. Why don't you come and live with me here in Buckingham Palace? You can keep me company in my old age. A splendid idea, your Majesty, replied Abdul. All eyes turned to the girl. I've got 25 friends, she replied. 25? Spluttered the Queen. Yes, they're all in the same orphanage as me. When I ran away, I promised I'd never forget them, and I haven't. What is the name of this orphanage? Wormley Hall, Home for Unwanted Children. Sounds frightful. It is. And you ran away, Elsie? I had to, your Majesty. The lady who ran it used to beat me black and blue. I had to get out, or she would have killed me. The Queen took a deep breath. She could barely believe what she was hearing, but she knew this girl was sincere. What is the name of this lady, if indeed the creature can be called that? Miss Curdle, your Majesty. Munchie? Yes, your Majesty, replied Abdul. Have this Miss Curdle locked up in the Tower of London. With great pleasure, ma'am. A huge smile spread over Elsie's face. This story did have a happy ending after all. Sometimes it's wonderful being queen, said the Queen. And Munchie? Yes, your Majesty. Send a fleet of my carriages to collect those poor orphans and bring them here to Buckingham Palace. All 25 of them, ma'am? The Queen gulped. Yes, all 25 of them. We have the room. At once, your Majesty. With that, Abdul bowed and left. Of course, child. Tonight is a very special night, began the Queen. Is it? Asked Elsie. After being at sea for weeks, the girl had completely lost track of the date. Yes, my child. It's New Year's Eve. At midnight, we welcome in a new century. As the year becomes 1900, perhaps you and your 25 friends would like to join me for a midnight feast as we watch the fireworks. Yes, please, your Majesty. Splendid. I'll have my team of cooks lay on the feast. I can't wait to see them all again and tell them this incredible tale. I'm sure they've missed you, young lady. Elsie smiled and turned back to look at Dotty before addressing the Queen again. Your Majesty? Yes, Elsie? Can my friend Dotty come to the party tonight, too? She's really looked after me. She's been like a grandma, actually. I would love to see the new century with her. The Queen took a deep breath. Yes, all right. Dotty, you can come too. Please refrain from calling me Ham. Oh, thank you, Jam, replied the old lady. Oops. Private Thomas was trying to catch Dotty's eye too, to no avail. When that didn't work, he gave her a sharp poke with his elbow. What do you want? I'm talking to the Queen Majesty herself, the ruler of everybody and everything. Well, shouldn't the love of your life come too? Who's that? Me! All I ask, replied Dotty. She put her hand in the air. Victoria, the Majesty? Yes, replied the Queen uncertainly. Please, could Towering Thomas come to the party? She asked proudly. I won't take up too much space. You'll barely know I'm here, your majesty, added the man. Queen Victoria sighed loudly. Well, I guess there's room for one more, she said. Thank you, ma'am, he replied. Just then the admiral popped his hand in the air. Yes, asked the queen. Ma'am, if I could be so bold, I have an extremely close friend of Private Thomas for many years. No, you haven't, he corrected. Shut up, hissed the admiral. And I would miss him terribly if I couldn't share the momentous night with him. The old queen sighed. All right. Should I bring my own rum? I am sure we have a barrel or two. Splendid. But what will everyone else drink? Anyone else want to come to the party? She asked. All the old soldiers started nodding their heads enthusiastically and murmuring in agreement. Oh, yes. Is it a buffet or a sit-down thing? Oh, I can't stay too late. I really need to be back at the hospital before midnight. Yes, 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 you can all come, exclaimed the queen. Now, please, everyone leave immediately before I change my mind. You've never seen people exit a room so quickly. Chapter 78. Not a day goes by. Boom, whiz, kaboom. Fireworks danced in the sky over London. Those lucky enough to be on the top floor of Buckingham Palace had the best view. The elderly queen was hosting quite a party. There were the 25 Wormley Hall orphans, all the Chelsea pensioners, Abdul, Dotty, and of course the guest of honor, Elsie. Fittingly, a huge Victoria sponge cake was served. It was so big you could have dived into it, but it was demolished by the starving orphans in seconds. By the fireplace, Private Thomas got down on one knee and proposed to his beloved. Dotty, will you marry me? Where are you? asked the lady. Here. Dotty looked down and spotted him. Sorry, I didn't see you all the way down there. Dotty, will you marry me? Oh, I forgot to rinse me mops out. Dotty, the little man was becoming irate now. Will you marry me? There's no need to shout, dear. Yes! The pair kissed, and everyone around them clapped and cheered. Hurrah! Bong, 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 bong. 12 bongs from Big Ben meant it was midnight. 1899 had ended, and 1900 had begun. Everyone crossed arms, and Queen Victoria led the singing of Auld Lang Syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my Jo, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. Robert Burns' words were so mournful tune, made Elsie think about Wooly. She missed her friend terribly as she sang. A tear rolled down her cheek, and she stole away to the far side of the room so nobody else would see her. Elsie didn't want to spoil the celebration for everyone else. Only the queen saw that the girl was upset, and she broke away from the rest. The unlikely pair of friends found themselves alone in the corner as fireworks illuminated them from the window. "What's the matter, child?" asked the queen softly as she placed her hand in Elsie's. "The song. It just got me thinking about how much I miss Wooly." "If truth be told, Auld Lang Syne always makes me a little tearful too," replied Queen Victoria, her eyes becoming misty. "It always makes me think of my darling husband, Prince Albert. I lost him 38 years ago, but not a day goes by, not an hour, not a minute, when I don't think about him." "Sounds like he was a very special man." "Oh, he was, child. He was. The most perfect gentleman in all the world." Elsie reached out her other hand to the old lady and held it tight. "See those fireworks, Elsie?" "Yes, ma'am." "That is how it felt in my heart every time my darling Albert entered the room." "That's beautiful," murmured the girl. "It was real. In the end, we've both loved, child, and been given love in return. What more can you ask of life?" "I suppose so," said the girl. "I know, Elsie. You may look around this palace of mine. this country of mine, this empire of mine, which stretches the four corners of the globe, and think I have everything. But believe me, child, you have nothing without love." The queen picked up a glass of champagne for herself and handed a glass of lemonade to Elsie. "To Albert," said Elsie. "To Wooly," said the queen. Clink. The end. All right, my friends. That does it for the end of David Walliams' Ice Monster. Now we will be finding out about what happened to them after, a little short thing. But now you are going to be answering those questions for the last time. Isn't that something? For the last time with complete sentences by restating the question. I'm not going to make you chant it this time, but I'm going to go ahead and look forward to seeing your answers, look forward to our final project on this, and I'm going to go back to planning my trip. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Oh, that'd be so much fun. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so beautiful.